Hi everyone, how's it going? I've been asked to make a video of my recent experience of Mercedes-Benz stroke Crafter airbags. Now, as you know, that I had a problem with mine. It absolutely cracked and destroyed the chassis underneath all the way around. Now, I believe that, well, I know it was to do with the airbags, because when I purchased the van, I had a good look underneath, had airbags fitted, and there was no cracks whatsoever around the airbag or the bump stop. Now, the bump stop, okay, is only designed to do one thing, and that is house a cushion type rubber or a conical type piece of foam that slots in, and that is to stop the axle from meeting or slowing down the action, so it doesn't bang or doesn't bump. So if you have got quite a big load in the back of your van, then it will just sit on there, or you know, it allows the suspension to move. So if you've taken that bump stop off, okay, and replaced it with airbags, okay, all you're basically doing is taking away the action of the spring, which is the leaf spring is tied to two massive big outriggers, and those outriggers are designed by Mercedes-Benz to distribute the weight along the spring, rubbers at both ends at the shackles, and allows to move. Now, if you've put airbags in, okay, you've removed the movement of the suspension, and now it's all concentrated where the airbag is. Some people have said that they're going to put airbags on there for one reason only, and that is to when you're parking, you can pump the back up. Well, it seems a bit silly, or you know, expensive, because you can buy ramps and just reverse up them. Or you can do what I originally did and had the airbags were already on this van, and basically I used to pump them up and park up, try and level the van out. Or I used to think, okay, well, the back end looks a bit low because now I've got a, you know, a fully fitted out camper van. Quite a lot of weight in the back, the bed, diesel for a diesel heater, there's a toolbox. I've got loads of stuff in the back of the van. So obviously the van has now come down a little bit, and the spring is under weight. So you think, okay, great, I'll just pump the airbags up. But by doing that, you've actually made the weight, you've taken away the weight and the suspension from its proper points, and now you've centralised it in one place, okay? And that place is where the bump stop was. So you take the bump stop off, now you've put an airbag there, okay, and that's where all the weight is now going to go. You have centralised the weight in one point, not the 2 points as Mercedes-Benz have designed. Hence the reason why all the time you're going up and down bumps, or the suspension is not moving because the airbag is pumped up, all the weight is now going, and all the force is now going into a place that was never ever designed to take any weight whatsoever. So over time, a very, very short period of time, stress cracks. And that's a bit of a pain, because if you've just built your Sprinter stroke Crafter into a motorhome, you've taken the whole floor out, you've insulated it, you know, you've made it nice and cozy. In my van, I've got 25mm slats, and that's got Celotex in it, and then there's a foil over that, then that's taped. Now you imagine, okay, you've got all of that in the back, you've built up the rear end of your Sprinter, you've got your garage, or you've got your bed underneath of it, and you've got some nice overhead cabinetry, fully insulated, all vinyled up or all carpeted up. you need it welded. It's that far away, 25 mil away. Or if you haven't got any of that, it's on the floor. Any heat from MIG welding, it's just going to go catch fire. It's not a great scenario to be in. I had to undo all the bed, absolutely everything. All the Victron electronics had to come out, okay, and then I had to chop with the multi-tool across the floor, because obviously everything this side of the cab was going to be okay, but it was just stupid, really was stupid. Yeah, so I had to take it all out, because there was no way I was going to ever let this van just catch fire. 3 months of my hard work and a lot of money has been spent on this van. I'm not going to let it go up in flames, because that's what would have happened. Insulation really is it's not that fireproof. You only have to look at recent events in London to say that, because obviously, without going into it, the Grenfell Tower was used closed foam or closed cell foam, which is pretty much Celotex. I may be wrong, but I have read that somewhere. So you've got all that underneath your van, and now you're taking a MIG welding torch. It's just going to go up. It's going to be set fire to, or it's going to get set fire to. It's going to smoulder at least, and then it's going to stink, and that's at the absolute minimum. I'm not trying to scare anyone. This is purely down to my personal experience, and from other people also saying, wow, mate, that's happened to mine. I've had some people from America have watched the videos, and they went, you totally understand, you know, like why you're not scared and stuff like that, because if the van goes up, one of them they have lost their van where they didn't remove the whole of all of the insulation. They thought they'd chance it. You know, it's a little bit silly, but that's the way it is. We all think, or can get away with something, you know, so you don't take it all out. But after reading that, I just thought, you know what? No way. I am taking everything out, back down to the bare metal, or back down to the bare floor. So that way, any heat that gets transferred from welding, it's not going to do any damage, apart from burn a bit of paint, which you get a wire brush on, and then you can spray it with a bit of Hammerite afterwards, and hunky-dory. Fingers crossed. Well, I actually had my fingers crossed. I had no such bad luck. But I will say that I was absolutely bricking it. You know, I was looking in the back, the doors were open. I was crapping my pants when this van was being welded. I really was. But it's been reinforced on the back with 3mm plate. It's been completely seam welded all the way around to the floor, underneath, and, you know, at the backs. So it's box section like that. So it's welded at the top, welded at the sides, and welded together. So it's completely, you know, it's so strong underneath. I expect if I wanted to put airbags on it, it would be completely fine. Now, the reason why I say this, because I say a couple of people have asked me to make this video and just make people aware of airbags cracking and splitting the Sprinter and the Crafter chassis. There are kits out there that a very famous YouTuber with hundreds of thousands of subscribers has put, and I will say he's probably chosen one of the better ones, because they've got like big substantial brackets that are going to possibly take the load. But if you're thinking about fitting airbags, you've got to have the airbag kit, you've got to have all the piping, you've got to have the pump, and then a control panel. I made a control panel for mine because I wasn't prepared to pay 307 quid for a valve that just pushed it up and down. I made my own, and I think it cost about 60 quid or 70 quid, something like that. I would much rather, or I should have done, I've taken as airbags completely off, or not used them, and just bought proper springs, proper parabolic springs, or the 5-ton springs with the proper bushes that you can use. I truly believe that's the way to go. That is where the spring can naturally hang, naturally work, and you won't have any problems. Mercedes-Benz have designed the weight to be taken on those outriggers and not in the centre of the chassis. Now, you all might say, well, they put them on pickup trucks and they put them on ambulances. Yeah, like CJ, he's had like airbag problems, but that's because it's a separate chassis. That's a chassis cab with a box put on the back, and all that engineering by Mercedes-Benz has been fabricated and built in. All the stresses have been built in to take airbags. You've got pickup trucks, they can have an airbag system put in them, but that is all designed into that chassis, and then it's bolted onto the back of the cab. This is a van. They do not have any of that weight distribution built into them. As I say, it's only the shackles that give movement, and then the spring that takes up any kind of weight. So if you are thinking about putting airbags on, please consider my opinion. It is based on my experience with airbags, and it is based on experience where there was no cracks because they were never used. I've reinstated them, my chassis is cracked. There are other videos on YouTube. If you just type it in, you can. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I think I've rattled on enough. So my opinion is, I'm not going to use airbags on a Sprinter Crafter that was never designed to take them. So I do hope you've found this little video, me yakking, useful. If you are considering subscribing, click the little subscribe button and have a look at my back catalogue, and you'll understand why that I've taken my airbags off. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this has been of use, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers. Bye.